Hello, welcome to a video where I'm going to showcase an Ultra League team that I've been running for a while, kinda. It's an old classic of mine. Not per se my team exactly, but something I've been running a couple times. Once with Talonflame, once with Zard. This time I built a Shadow Charizard, and I'm just gonna try it again. I think a Trevenant Walring Core is just basically always good, except against Obstagoon. I've tried this with Talonflame lead, I've tried it with Charizard lead, tried it with Warring lead. You can play this team basically in any order. I like Trevenant a little bit more because there's a lot of people running something like Cresselia, Swampert Core. So yeah, let's take a look at the 10 battles that I have here for the Open Ultra League. These are not Go Battle League, but they are Go Battle League format against some really good players. Take a look here against Madbeer. He used to run Blastoise a lot, and I know that, so I'm kind of afraid of that's going to be in the back. So I kind of want to bait it out with Walrein somehow at some point. This is not ideal. Obviously, I have my Charm Answer in the back right with the Shadow Charizard. I tried to catch the Weather Ball here, but unsuccessfully. Out comes Scrafty, which is fine. But also not really, because these are two Pokemon already weak to Shadow Charizard. And that's annoying, because there's likely going to be a Charizard answer in the back, something like a Jellicent. That's actually what I expected, Jellicent or Swampert maybe. Gonna go for that Earthquake here. This won't even KO, but, you know, it just does more than that one Ice Cold Spear that I will get to. But he actually shields that, which is okay, I guess. I'm just going to sacrifice my Trevenant here, that's fine. And then hopefully my Charizard can sweep. Now, he is single boosted. Shadow Charizard is fragile, so I kind of have to shield this, unfortunately. Foul Play comes through, and in the back is indeed that Shadow Swampert. Now, in Great League, you actually can win this matchup, because Shadow on Shadow just hits so hard. In Ultra League, they just have a little bit too much HP, and Madbeer is so kind to show us as well, because he knows that Blastburn won't take it out. And he is 2 off. I don't take him out in 2 wing attacks, so I'll just let that go. Well played. Next battle is against Derp Dudes, someone I met at Liverpool and the EUIC. Pretty good player as well. Let's take a look here. Trevenant into Registeel. Really, well, I wouldn't say really good lead, but it's a decent lead. If Registeel debuffs you over and over here and shields the first Shadow Balls correctly, then they can win the 2 shields here, which is annoying. Going to throw right at where we would have CMP'd on the, what's it called? On the Zap Cannon. Swaps in the Buzzwole, and Charizard is really good here, because the wing attacks are double super effective. So, yeah. Unfortunately, Superpower still does a lot, but he doesn't get to another one, so that's kind of nice. Let's take a look here. At this point, it's just going to be the Charizard show. Whatever he brings in, even something like Lantern is not going to appreciate a Blastburn, or something like a Giratina won't appreciate a Blastburn. A Blastoise won't appreciate this Shadow Blastburn. It's just wicked. I'm just going to shield again since he brings this in. This is not great against Charizard, but I guess he just wants to get rid of it real quick. So I'm just going to throw another Blastburn here. Let's take a look what's in the back now. We've seen the Charizard. We've seen the Buzzwole. I think comes a Shadow Dragonite. Now, this Dragon Claw is going to do quite some damage. Shadow on Shadow. Actually, it's not. His is not Shadow. It still does like a 60% damage. And at this point, it's over because of the Warring for the Dragonite. So, you know, thank you, Derp Dudes, for making my team look good. Because I had some tough battles. I think the battles that I played, most of them were really good. But it didn't go super well in the first Open Ultra League battles again this cycle. So another okay lead here. This is not great, not the worst. If they double shield here, it's actually a really rough matchup for Trevenant. Gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball here, not baiting. I like to bait here. This time I don't, and they actually let that go. I'm kind of being known for baiting, so I sometimes just tend to not bait at all. Here we go. We claw it down. I'm still half HP. I have some energy. Let's take a look what comes in. It's a lot of Muck going to bait out whatever's in the back. It's the Empoleon. This is a fine matchup for Walrein. My Power Stones are double resistant, but I do have that super effective Earthquake that I get quite quickly too. And they only have like Drill Pack to hit me with that even isn't so quick to get to. The Waterfalls are also single resisted. As you can see, this drill pack does nothing. He's gonna need to get to so much more energy here. Earthquake comes through. It's shielded again. Now he's 2 shields down. I still have 1. I can't really shield here because I know he has another one, another drill pack, which I don't want to take. Or sorry, I don't want to shield that and then take another one, so it would be for nothing. I'll just keep the shield for the Shadow Charizard for now. Into that Trevenant. Well, I'll eat my words because I'm going to shield this. I gotta have my Shadow Charizard on this Empoleon here. And swapping out with that Shadow Ball, they swap in back the Alolan Muk with Poison Jab. Again, Shadow Charizard, really fragile. Not going to appreciate his Dark Pulse. Actually puts me into the red already. But I also have that hard hitting Blast Burn. I actually thought this would KO. Let's take a look. Boom! And that's actually a nice chunk. He then stops stepping, wants to get some energy. But yeah, it's not enough. I had a Shadow Ball. I'm not sure if Empoleon wins CMP regardless. He wouldn't get too much enough energy there. So, well played. Next up is Jocks, a very good player from Portugal. He wanted to give it a try as well. So let's take a look at what he has to bring here. He's going to run a line that's actually quite familiar. Obviously, this is the worst lead ever. And usually I say switch Walrein. I say switch Charizard this time, not because it's Walrein is a harder answer to Pidgeot, but because I already know it's gonna be like double what's it called, double deer, double Sacred Sword in the back. Look, they go into Cobalion. And also noticeable, I shielded a Brave Bird there, which was big. They actually went for it. I almost no shielded the potential Feather Dance, and man, I did not have my day. Actually no shield my Dranclaws. Well, everyone's been shielding every nuke that I threw except that Shadowbot at the start, and then they shield the Blast Burn correctly, which kind of sucks. Gonna go for a bait again this time, because I feel like, you know, you have so much energy. You're probably going to shield this one, though. Yep, I finally get the bait here. And because of that bait and this sneak, I think I'm 3 off, and they are 2 off, which means that we will hit the CMP on this Blast Burn. Here we go. As you see here, Blast Burn on the second Stone Edge. I flip switch advantage here. Now my Trevenant will be on the Virizion in the back, and my Walrein will be on the Pidgeot, which is really nice. I will even CMP with him on the next charge move, but look at what he does. He realizes, nah, I just want to do it all with Pidgeot. I'm just going to catch this move over here, and it will one-shot this Virizion. Goodbye. Even has to throw a move, or I will get to a Dranclaw here, and that should be game over. Now my Walrein can safely come in, survives a Brave Bird. Yeah, good game. So they already know what the team basically is going to be. Here, eat an Earthquake. I already know what the team kind of is, and I'm like Charizard is not a bad safe switch either. I just like Walrein a little bit more because maybe if I can get a shield advantage somewhere, I can set up my Charizard for a sweep. Trevenant into Obstagoon. This is probably the worst lead I can face. Let's take a look. I'm just gonna stay in here. I think 2 Night Slash will barely take me out. I will throw immediately. Always throw immediately in case they obstruct, because then your moves will do less. You don't want that. Your Seed Bombs already are kind of weak. Not really sure what I should expect with this. Maybe their own ghost types. So maybe Trevenant as well. We should CMP here. Looks like we do, I think. But I'm kind of afraid that he will undercharge this, which is not optimal. Look at how much HP this thing still has. It's really annoying. Hopefully he KOs me here, but he doesn't. He undercharges a little bit and then gets a boost, which is not great. Going to my Shadow Charizard, they swap in a Gust Pidgeot. Interesting choice of Pokemon. Probably playing ABB against a Registeel, which I don't have, but I can align my Walrein here quite nicely. And I'm also going to call the Brave Bird here. Hopefully they don't Feather Dance, but if I call a Brave Bird, I can farm down completely, and even if Obstagoon comes back in, I just have Ice Spear energy as well for it, so that's just very fine. Take a look what they have. They have a Cresselia, which I hate. I hate this. I want my Charizard on this. I want to get out. I want to throw this on the Obstagoon, not on this Cresselia, because this thing is bulky and will eat all my damage as if it's nothing. At this point, he's almost at like 100 energy. I think he's like 2 off, so I'm gonna try to catch it, but very patient play for my opponent, waiting to see if I would switch or not, and they did wait. I did swap and didn't catch a Grass Knot. And also good knowledge here, knowing they would survive a Dranclaw. I actually thought Shadow Charizard surely has enough attack to take it out from here, because I would have been able to farm up a little bit more here, which might really be necessary. They're at 100 energy here, so they need only, I believe, I need. They need three. They need three, right? Because after one Balloon Blast at 100 energy, you're at 40 energy, so you need three more Psycho Cuts. And yeah, they also throw right before that. And at this point, it's gonna be a tricky game because I need to land either three Icicle Spears or an Earthquake. An Icicle Spear and an Earthquake. Grassland won't take me out here yet, so I'm not too afraid, to be honest. They were dry, but I need to make the correct call at this point, and so does he. Gonna go straight for the Earthquake. I'm guessing he won't shield this, knowing I need two Ice Spears to take out, but he knows me too well and shields that Earthquake. Unfortunately, I am one short of the next Earthquake, so very, very close game despite such a difficult lead, right? That was probably the worst lead I could face. Next battle against my friend El Braino, also a good player from the Netherlands. Yeah, he's hit Legend pretty much every season since Legend came out, so also going to be a difficult opponent. Unfortunately, he couldn't play the Utrecht Play Pokemon Regional, which I think he would have done pretty well at as well. I'm just gonna scroll a little bit through because I edited this before, but it looks like that the start wasn't cut properly either way. Alola Ninetales, not great. This time it's Power Snow going to go straight into my Walrein. And man, again a Scrafty, which is super annoying because in Ultra League, Charizard is a little bit better against Alola Ninetales just because you have more bulk, right? But you still one-shot them with the Blast Burn. So they're, again, somewhat ABA against Charizard. I wouldn't say that Power Snow Alola Ninetales is exactly weak to Charizard, but you know, feels bad to face both Alola Ninetales and Scrafty in the lead when you have Zard in the back. Anyway, a really good counting here because this Icicle Spear that I was about to throw likely would have knocked them out, which, yeah, I don't think they want. At this point, it's all on Charizard. Good counting. Thrown right before my C-Bomb here. Not going to shield. I think Trevor's somewhat useless. Catching my C-Bomb, which is super annoying. You know why? Because a Blast Burn would have taken this thing out. This is useless energy because I can't take this out with a Dragon Claw. It's double resisted. I have to take it out with a Blast Burn, and now it's kind of, you know, useless. Also miscount here, so I thought I needed one more. Obviously it's only on 5 and then 4. I'm thinking it's Swampert in the back or something, so I'm gonna no shield there, hoping it there will be some play, but at this point, even if it's Swampert, I lose this. They let that go actually, so we'll get to see the third one, and it's Registeel. So this actually really, if they shield Alola Ninetales, I think they have no trouble. Now there actually is play for me. I'm gonna go straight Blast Burn just because, again, I'm notorious for throwing baits. Barely not able to catch the move. And I believe this is like a Focus Blast, right? Yeah, this is a Focus Blast. And I want to keep farming up because if that Scrafty would come back in, I'm pretty sure I get counted down at this point. Just because how low I am. Gonna go for another Blast Burn. And then another one. Let's see, this might take it out. Actually does in Ultra League. And they swap right away into their Scrafty. And unfortunately, they survive by 1 little HP. And now that means that the Registeel comes out with a move. If it didn't, they may have to have thrown this this Focus Blast into my Charizard to knock it out. And now they didn't need to. So really close game yet again. Next opponent is the Bassist. Let's take a look because they're all not cut properly. And this, oh yeah, it's this battle. So apparently he lets Swampert, but my battle starts like halfway in the battle. So I'm like, oh no, not another bad lead. I'm just going straight into my Walrein. I'll let the first Blast Burn go. They'll just throw the move and swap out, but they're staying in. But yeah, in hindsight, it was that, you know, he let Swampert. So he swapped his Charizard right into my Trevenant. I was expecting him to CMP with me. If this is a Dragon Claw, I actually might live. I'm pretty sure I would live. But he throws a Blast Burning. I mean, I had no idea what his energy was at. Take a look here. Gonna go into my Shadow Charizard to just shield farm him down. A Blast Burn will do a lot of damage, even resisted, so I don't want to take that here. And he actually hard swaps back into the Swampert. Again, at this point, I had no idea he let Swampert, so I was like, yo, that's a gift. Hydro in Great League, two Hydro Cannons will take out from Shadow Swampert with a few mud shots. In Ultra League, they don't. So pretty comfortable there. They let that go. Let's take a look what the third is. I'm expecting them to be very strong against Trevenant in the back, but it actually is a Cobalion, and it's actually really good for me. If they let this go, I might shield Trevenant to just get fast moves in. If they shield it, I'll just do it with the Charizard. The thing is, the Shadow Ball won't KO anyway, so those... I didn't expect them to shield it, actually, because a Blastburn obviously one-shots. And I have so much energy already here as well. As you can see, they do shield that. Yeah, you see. Pretty much all my nukes that I throw get shielded. It's so... You know, sometimes there's some of those days. In comes their own Charizard, which I farmed down. And that's a good game V-bassist. Well played. He played in the Indian regional as well. Next battle against XX Monarch, a good player from the US. I'm leading Trevenant into Venusaur. This thing does not have a lot of play against my line. Trevenant, Walrein, Charizard are all good against it. They swap in the Giratina, and they don't even build to an Asian power. I guess they don't run it. So yeah, this is very comfortable. Just a very RPSC match. Some of my favorites. Throwing on the CMP with his Icicle Spear. Walrein wins this very, very convincingly. Because you see, this Dragon Claw will barely put me over half. Yeah. And I'll just CMP again. And then I can still get to another Icicle Spear on that Venusaur, which is super effective. So that's just great, I guess. They swap in immediately as well, not even waiting out the clock. And look at this. They actually predict that I would throw one before their Frenzy. They catch on the Registeel. Again, it doesn't really matter. This is going to be a Charizard show. So, yeah, there's that. And actually throw right before me. So I'm really confused. They throw right before my first Blast Burn. I'm like, wait, we should CMP on that. They sneak a lock on, but they throw the Focus Blast, which they do get slightly faster to. And that's an interesting play. I mean, they know I will shoot anyway, but not going for an attack drop. Just gonna go for 2 Blast Burns here since I outpace anyway. But this is annoying in Ultra League because it doesn't it doesn't one-shot. Maybe with the Icicle Spear and the Wing Attacks now it does. In Great League you just one-shot Registeel. In Ultra League you don't. It's stupid. I hate it. They swap in the Venusaur. Let's take a look how much a Sludge Bomb will do. I can tell you that the Divine Whips don't do anything, so I can at least farm up more energy here. And again, I'm tempted to throw Dragon Claw because in Great League, that would KO. In Ultra League, I don't think it would. So, yeah. Anyway, Charizard's just putting up a show here. Blast Birding everything on the field, and that will take it out. I think Charizard really is a big upgrade over Talonflame. So yeah, let's take a look at the next battle against my teammate Guido. Also a really good player, a little bit washed lately. Sorry, Guido, if you're watching. I mean, you know it is, but... He's also the player who saved us at Sylph World Factions, Sylph Factions Worlds, whatever. You know, because he 3-0'd in the last matchup where we needed a 3-0 to win it all. So Guido knows how to play well. Let's skip a little bit ahead here. This is the lead. This is fine in Great League, not in Ultra League because they're bulkier. If this was Shadow Walrein, the Tushes will be very fine here. Guido's actually not throwing immediately, which I actually did expect from him. And also another problem is that his Icicle Spear will do way more damage. And the Power Snows add up more than his Shadow Claws too. So not that neutral of a matchup, but it is what it is. And then I proceed to catch a double resisted Icicle Spear, which I'm very happy with. See what I paid out with that. He brings in his own Trevenant. Which makes me wondering, what do you have in the back here? First Seed Bomb comes in. He does win his matchup here. But let's see if he proceeds to shield this from a non-Shadow Walrein. This is definitely not that threatening. Yeah, as you can see, it does put him a little bit lower than me, but it's fine. I'm down a shield. I have a Seed Bomb stored. But yeah. This looks somewhat neutral here. Let's take a look. What do I get more farm with? I'm going with the Charizard because Wing Attack just has a little bit less DPE damage per turn than the Shadow Claw from Trevenant. In comes a Walrein again. And I'm going to throw just right before the next Icicle Spear, the Dragon Claw. I think this will take it out. I know in Ultra League everything's bulkier, but this should do it. And in the back is his own Charizard. It's a mirror team, but with his Walrein lead instead of where I had the Trevenant. Gonna go for no bait here. Guido does like to call baits against me sometimes, but not this time. Why not? This is just, you know, not even a super competitive battle. Goes for Dragon Claw. I don't think it would have KO'd. I honestly thought he would go for Blast Burn. And I predicted he would throw on my Blast Burn. So I proceed to catch his Dragon Claw here. And now it's tricky though. I don't know if this was the play. You know, the thing is, I usually run high IV Pokemon. Unless I intentionally run like Breakpoint Pokemon. And I'm afraid I lose CMP here, but at this point it looks like it all will come down to the CMP because I cannot reach the Shadow Ball here, unfortunately. This will put him low in Dragon Claw range, but I do have the Blast Burn and I win CMP. So that's a big, insane game where I had to make 2 catches. So the team, he runs the same team. I just feel like with that lead, it just makes it way more difficult. The last battle here is against Ballox from Spain. And Charizard lead, difficult. I'm gonna go straight into Walrein. Walrein is pretty solid safe switch here. There's usually Pokemon like Swampert in the bag, maybe his own Walrein, so that's kind of difficult to deal with. Let's take a look. Is he going to bait me here? I'm no shielding because I want him to bring in Swampert that I'm put into Hydro range, and that he will bring it in to take me out with it, so I can then farm up more energy on my Trevenant, but he doesn't do that. He brings in his own Walrein, which is worse actually because this allows him to get so much energy while taking very little Power Snow damage. They actually need to throw an Earthquake here, so I'm gonna hope they throw Icicle Spear, but they're smart, which is no bueno for me. I will survive a Shadow Icicle Spear, but it will do so much damage. And on the other hand, the Trevenant is also kind of useless against that Charizard, which also has energy. So it's just kind of difficult. Gonna throw one before the next Icicle Spear, and you know, I'll have some energy. That's just wonderful. They actually decide to shoot there, which is more annoying. I don't get to my next Seed Bomb, which kind of, you know, I actually didn't see this coming. And I no-shield this move as well because of Shadow Blast Burn does more, but look how much that damage already does. They even get to another one at 1 HP, which is super annoying for me. Let's see. In comes that Charizard. I even lose CMP on the Dragon Claw here, so everything that can go wrong goes wrong in this battle, unfortunately. Dragon Claw coming through. I'm not sure. I don't think this will KO it, actually. So maybe that CMP didn't matter anyway. I need one more wing attack. In the back is a Trevenant. And man, this could have been a whole different game, but I just feel like I was also always just in a bad spot because his Pokemon got energy on mine over and over, and then he had a shield advantage, and it's just impossible to chase, really. But regardless, I think the team still is really solid. Shadow Charizard is really good in this meta, but I don't think it's as good as it is in Great League because everything is more HP, so you one-shot less with the Blast Burn. But on the other hand, it's a really flexible pick. There's very few Pokemon like Blastoise. Obviously, there is Tapu Fini, so I wouldn't just say swap it around. But yeah, hope you liked the video, hope you liked the team, and have a good one.